Coach, on Makai Lemon's status, and have there been any injuries that will go into the fall so far?
Nothing that would go into the fall. Lim, he had a little bit of a hamstring right before we got started. Haven't had him full go yet. He's getting better. Hope to have him more towards probably the back half of spring.
What about Killian?
Killian had an injury the other day at pass rush. Most likely going to keep him out the rest of spring, but not past that. We're fully expecting to be ready to go for summer, and potentially an outside chance we might have him at the end of spring.
The House settlement should be approved next week.
That's the rumor.
Any kind of questions or concerns on your part going into that time? And I know there's a lot of questions about the enforcement system within.
Yep.
I'm curious how you think that might work, if it'll work.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of eager to see. It's honestly a little tough to speculate on it, on how well it could. It just depends on how well it's constructed, and it's we're just in a day and age where we'll see. That would be great if we could get to that, but I don't know that I'm expecting that. I don't know that really anybody is. So we'll see what happens, right? And then certainly some clarity on some things with the roster, certainly, and the scholarships and all that. We've got a working idea of what it's going to be like, but to actually see and know for certain, I think will be super helpful. So I think those are the big points that we're going to be most excited to see that affect us, obviously, a great deal.
What would be your biggest concern about an enforcement model working, or what do you feel like it would need to work?
Man, it's tough because obviously there's a whole legal side of that, and you're going to need something that's going to hold up legally, right? I think that's something that has enough teeth to accomplish what it needs to accomplish, and then something that's not just going to get just run over with people getting sued and all of that. So that's the world that kind of those people live in, and that's why it's been tough to find it. Obviously, if we can, that'll be great, and hopeful that they can make some good progress.
Coach, as you've had some time in the offseason to reflect back on last season, first year in the Big Ten, what were some lessons learned from that first year, the new conference, and just from last season in general?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like mentally kind of onto this one a little bit, to be honest. In terms of conference, it's a good conference. It's a fun conference to play in. There's a challenge each and every week with just the quality of teams and the depth in the conference. I would say the going on the road in this conference is like really truly going on the road. It's real atmospheres. It's good teams. It's big challenges. We'll take a couple of just kind of internal notes on some of the travel, and obviously that's heavily affected by what time you play and all of that. But I think you're always, when you're traveling a little bit more, you pick up on a few things that you think you can do better there. And again, I know this is, you guys probably get tired of hearing me say it, but it's like, in terms of kind of lessons learned, like we're just on our climb, man. It's like we're just growing, we're just continuing to get better. That's not really relative to the Big Ten or kind of to anything else. It's just we're continuing to try to grow and take steps as a program, and like I've said, fix the things that aren't championship level and try to continue to enhance the things that maybe we think are right now. So it's with this now, like each team is kind of so new that there's some of the lessons that are learned, but like some of the lessons will be a little bit different this time around, and you just got to be as ready for all these different challenges that are coming, and that's why you prep so hard and why you try to grow as a program so that you're more ready for that year after year, and I think we're absolutely heading in that direction.
With Sam Hayward, how familiar were you with him when he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school?
Mm-hmm.
What have you learned about his journey at this point and where he's at now?
I was familiar with him. I remember him coming out. I remember us evaluating him and being impressed with him at that point. But recruitment never. I can't even remember what year exactly that was or who we took. But it never got far. But I certainly remember him. And he's done a great job. I think he's been exactly what I thought he would be, and that he's very professional in his approach. He's learned a lot of ball throughout his career, and you can tell that like he takes that knowledge in. He can process it quickly. He can go out there and operate it's like it's to me almost like if you were in the NFL and you went and signed a 10-year veteran quarterback. You know what I mean? It just kind of feels that way. And he's getting Sam, like you could tell why he was a highly recruited guy. He's a talented arm, really throw the ball, can really process. So he's done a great job.
A lot of the recruits, feedback from recruits this cycle anyway, have been talking about how transparent and honest you guys are when they're on campus. Is there anything you can share with us on how they come to that?
Well, it's good. It's a good thing to hear. We try to be that way. I mean, we try to make a point of that. This is a big decision for them, and I think we're proud of what we have here. We're proud of the people we have. We're proud of what's here now and what's coming and all that. So it's fun to have those transparent conversations with them. And then I think certainly the additions we've made in personnel and being able to have those transparent conversations on on all aspects of the decision, whether it's the football side, whether it's the business side. I mean, all of it. Like it's we just got a very kind of to the point group, and I that's something that we try to pride ourselves on as a program. I want people to walk out here, whether they come to SC or not. I want them to walk out here with complete clarity on who we are, what this would be like, what the expectations are, on both sides, what we're going to expect out of them and what they should expect out of us as a staff.
Obviously, you guys made size a priority coming into the transfer portal this last time. How can you, I know it's been just a couple of days, but how can you just sort of feel that size maybe rippling throughout the whole defense, not even just at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, you definitely feel it. I mean, you just, especially the competitive periods, especially, when you start running the football against that front, it's like the gaps and the holes when you play really big teams and really strong teams, like everything's smaller, right? Like literally space is just taken up, and like you kind of feel that right now with our guys, and it's a real battle at the line of scrimmage, and same thing for our defensive line facing our O-line. I mean, it's just kind of. It's like not two featherweights going at it, This is like two big cats in the ring that you kind of feel, you feel the punches of each one of them. So, and then I think just the depth of that it's not just one guy here or there. I mean, collectively, it's like this guy, then that guy, then that guy, and we can roll multiple groups in there, and you continue to feel the same thing.
On that I wanted to ask you about two of the new guys in the secondary. DJ Harvey and Bishop Fitzgerald, obviously new to this program, but veteran players who've played in big time football games. What have you seen out of them, and what have they brought to some of the younger guys in the secondary, helping mentoring those guys? Yeah,
Harvey brings a lot of energy and juice to the field. He's a really competitive guy. You kind of feel his presence and energy every day. He's really focused on his craft. But yeah, his energy, his competitiveness, that fire, I think already, you feel the impact. Bishop's just steady, he's a steady guy. He communicates so well. Another guy that you definitely feel kind of his veteran presence on kind of like calming the group, and he can go in there and operate like right now, like he's been here for a while, which is hard to do. So no, they've been two great additions so far. Yeah.
So you're talking about the running game, and you're a quarterback whisperer. You've got 3 Heisman quarterback winners. What would it mean to you to see a running back at USC win the Heisman with you coaching? Would that change the way you look at, is one, I guess the best way to ask is, every Heisman is special, but what would it mean to you to actually do that here, tailback you, have a running back win Heisman?
I'd take it. I would definitely take it. It'd be phenomenal. We were close. A lot of Baker might not appreciate me saying this, but honestly, the year that Baker won it, and he was phenomenal. But I mean, we had a back at OU, Rodney Anderson, that if he had been healthy the first half of the season, it might have been a 1-2 race. I mean, Rodney, this whole second half of the year was incredible. And I mean, the really great teams have that ability to run it and have that ability to dominate people. And in this league, the schedule we play, doing it at this place, I think it would, I mean, one, it's amazing anytime, a player could be honored with something like that. Obviously, it's an historic award, but to me, it's even bigger because that award is also representative of team success. And if you're doing that and you're able to be that dominant on the O-line and running the football with that type of guy, then that means we probably won a bunch of ball games. So it would be incredibly special.
Yeah, anytime USC's had a running back win the Heisman, they've won a national championship.
There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm in. Let's do it.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.